Hello and welcome to Gospel Powered. I'm Charlie, and today I thought I would share with you what is presuppositional apologetics. What is it? What is it that a presuppositional apologist is trying to do? I will start with what it is not. What it is not, it's not choosing a starting place for an argument. It is not deciding that I'm going to have this one premise, and if I have that one premise and that premise is true, then I can work out the rest of my argument. Or how about this? It's not choosing a set of philosophical givens and then arguing from those philosophical givens. It is not either of those things. And I know a lot of people, they say that that's what presuppositional apologetics is. Even the unbeliever, when they're making arguments against it, they choose a set of givens and they start working from there. That is not what presuppositional apologetics is about. So what is it? It is a worldview apologetic. So all worldviews answer some basic questions. What is ultimate reality? What is external reality? What is it to be a human being? How do we know things? What is morality? All of these kinds of questions are answered by your worldview choice. So when you choose to be an atheist, you will answer those questions according to an atheistic system. And as you answer those questions according to the atheistic system, then you have starting places to understand your worldview. And so you answer these worldview questions, and then you do an internal critique of your worldview to decide, do they provide the presuppositions necessary for what we experience in our world? Are the preconditions necessary for what we experience in the arena of knowing, especially, are they in the worldview choice that you have? So the universal experience of knowing all humanity has involved three things. There is this conscious knowledge. I am aware in my head, and I'm having a conversation in my head, even as I'm speaking to the camera, wondering if I'm loud enough, wondering what I should say next, and if I should include this bit or that bit. And so I'm having this conversation in my head, even while I'm having this conversation with you by looking at this camera and speaking. I am conscious. I am conscious of what I am doing, and I'm even governing some of what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Because I have sense perception. I can see the camera that is in front of me. I can see people when I'm walking down the street. I can see the street. And not only can I sense those things, but I can also understand, I can make sense out of the things that I see. And so I have consciousness, sense perception, intelligibility, and a uniformity of nature that I expect in the world. This world is not changing. At least it's not changing so drastically that the sun rises on the opposite side every day. I know there's minor changes that are made, but we expect that in the world. But we do not expect gravity to change. We do not expect humans to become dogs, or likewise a dog to morph into a snake. We don't expect to see that right in front of us. We expect the things that we see to remain the things that we see. There's a uniformity of nature, and in that we can do science experiments, we can do math, we can develop logical concepts, all of these kinds of things, because we recognize the world as an unchanging object that we can start seeing laws. And that's the third thing. So consciousness with sense perception and intelligibility about a uniformed world. So those are the two. And then the third thing is laws of math, laws of logic, laws of science that we develop out of our experience, except for we're not developing them, we're more recognizing them. They're not a human construct. Math is not a human construct. Math is something that is universal. It's recognized everywhere in the world, and it's recognized with the same ideas. 2 plus 2 is 4 everywhere. It doesn't change with the human ideas or human development. 2 plus 2 is 4 all of the time. It may be represented differently, but it is always there. And so we have these universal, immaterial laws that govern our conscious thinking and our perceptions about this unchanging world. And so that's the universal experience of knowing that we have, which worldview provides the preconditions necessary for that experience. That is what presuppositional apologetics deals with. And so how does it deal with it? It takes a Steelman approach to a worldview. In other words, you develop the strongest case for whichever worldview you want to examine. So if you're going to examine an atheistic worldview, then you're going to develop the strongest case for the atheistic worldview. If you want to do it for a dualistic worldview, you're going to build the strongest case for a dualistic worldview. For a spiritual monism worldview, you're going to develop the strongest worldviews that you can from those systems and from what the people who say they believe those systems actually believe. And then with the strongest case that you have, you are going to do an internal critique to see if the strongest case allows for the preconditions for the universal experience of knowing that every human being has. And if they can't, then you reject that worldview. If they can, then you accept that worldview and you live in the world according to that worldview. What presuppositional apologetics says is when the Bible is understood as the revelation of God, God revealing, then you develop the strongest Christianity you can from the scriptures, and you understand the Trinitarian God who is the creator of the heavens and the earth, and how he made man in his image to see, know, and love the way he sees, knows, and loves. Then when you develop that, you find that the preconditions necessary for the experience of knowing that we have is in the Trinity. And so when you do that, then Christianity arises as the only worldview that actually makes sense of our experience. Have a great day.